Well, it's 2023 now.
Couldn't have gotten here quick enough.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another season of Days of Us Sooners, where we talk about the never-ending soap opera that is Oklahoma Sooners football. I'm here with my co-host. He's also my dad, Todd. How you doing, Dad?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Britt.
It's good. It's good. Man, we're back again. Season 2 already. How you feeling, man?
I'm just glad it's back. I'm glad football's back.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Another season.
Oh, man, yeah,
and,
me too.
I'm just excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, NFL's coming back. College is coming back. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah. We've got
it's going to be a good
few
one.
months of pleasure here.
Yeah, it's going to be
after
good.
that long drought.
Yep.
So I thought what we'd do is start off by talking about 2022. So, I remember last year at this time we were, starting to talk about the season.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of what were your expectations in 2022?
I wasn't actually sure what to think, but
Venable's first year, right?
Yeah, Venable's first year, so there was probably going to be some growing pains. But I thought, we'll probably get like a 11-2 or 8-4 at worst.
And then we started losing some games, and the season started turning south.
Pretty bad.
We ended up 6-7, the first losing season since 1998. That's before you were born.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy.
Yeah. How did that make you feel?
Yeah, it was a big suck.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun, to be honest. Though I did have some hope. We were getting better there. It just hopefully we gotten our act together over this last.
We kept losing those really close games.
Yeah, I know. It's right. It's like we were doing good, and then we just we couldn't keep it going.
And our defense could never quite stop
Find its
anybody,
rhythm.
and then the offense could never make the big play when we needed it. When you have Baker, Kyler Murray, big game, Hurts, you got used to expecting that we would make the big game and go ahead and win the games.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen.
Yeah, our luck was not on our side this year.
Now, I'm hearing rumors that Dylan Gabriel has improved, and
I admit I have guarded optimism because last year it did seem like I was kind of nervous after 49-0, which still hurts, but
against Texas.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh.
But I thought, oh no, we're gonna suck. But then we started doing better, but we couldn't really. Couldn't
win the games.
We couldn't win the games. Yeah, exactly.
We had a great showing there in the what was that? What bowl did we play in last year?
The Cheez-It Bowl.
Yeah, the Cheez-It Bowl. That's why I can't remember. It's so lousy. But we had a good showing there against like 13th, 14th ranked Florida State team. Could have beat them, but
of course
the same old thing happened. It was just typical of the season. Same old thing happened. So
wasn't fun.
Yeah,
wasn't fun.
Yeah. So
a dramatic season though. That we a lot of great episodes.
It was humbling. It brought us back down to earth. That just because we're Oklahoma doesn't mean we're going to win.
Every time.
You've got to have the players. You got to have the coaches, and you got to have the luck sometime.
Yeah.
We didn't have much center magic last year, right? No. Yeah. So. But we've got a new season.
We beat an improving Kansas, but that doesn't really say.
Is that what we're hanging our hat on? Beating Kansas?
Yeah. Well,
let's not hang our hat on that. It was a bad season. It was a bad season. We did beat Nebraska too, but again, they're not the old Nebraska. So this is our last year in the Big 12.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. So the Mad Lads at OU decided. Let's go to the SEC. I'm like, and most OU fans are either really excited or terrified.
I think a little of both, that's for sure. So
I remember when I first heard of them, I'm like, oh God, are they trying to give our fan base heart attacks every week?
Every week's going to be like the game of the century. So let's talk about this.
Should be a lot of classics though. Hopefully,
oh yeah, definitely.
That's my hope anyway.
Yeah, mine too. I hope we have some big timers and get up there with the Georgias and Alabamas, and LSU's, Tennessee's coming back. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's stick with the Big 12 for right now. So
Big 12.
Four new teams are coming in this year. We'll get to play. I don't know if we play all of the teams, but as a matter of fact, I know we don't play all of the teams. We get to play 3 of them, but Central Florida.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Does that sound like a Big 12 team to you?
That's where one of my old teachers went.
Okay, very good. Good trivia for you.
Though I've heard I don't know. They've done okay, but I don't know. I haven't really. They've done good in some years, but I haven't really seen much of them though. So
yeah, they're kind of a newer, up and coming team, but now they're getting ready to play in the big boys. They're not in what little league they were in before. And then true. BYU, who's always kind of a tough team. Cincinnati had
they've always given us trouble every time we play. I remember we went to a game in 2007 or 8.
Yeah,
it was around. I think it was around Labor Day, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and
it was
in
the first
Arlington.
game of the year. Yeah,
yeah, big
Sam
suck.
Bradford broke his shoulder.
Yeah, big suck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was horrible.
That game just sucked in general. This big tracker pull and Sam got hurt. Wasn't fun. It wasn't fun.
That was the introduction of the Landry Jones era.
Ooh, yeah.
Not a fan favorite.
No. He had some good spots though.
He's a good player. He has a good player. I think he's the leading most passing yards in school history.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
Him?
You get to play 4 years, and they had some prolific offenses, but he was slow as molasses, as they say in Oklahoma. And then Cincinnati had their big moment where they got into the college playoff.
I was about to say Cincinnati's pretty good,
but kind of a mid-level team. I'm not sure what they're going to do this year. And then Houston, which was an old, I believe, Southwest Conference, which is before your time. It used to be all the Texas schools were in the conference back when we had the Big 8.
Oh yeah,
and, so they're rejoining.
Also, has always been pesky for us. They're like Kansas State. I remember. I think it was first game of the season. Baker went up against Houston, and it was just big suck.
Didn't they beat us?
They did.
Yeah, that's where Tom Herman.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He was the coach.
That's right. He was. That's before he went to Texas.
They had a dominant defensive lineman, Oliver, I think his last name was, and he, he kind of dominated us there, kind of exposed our weaknesses. Yeah. So 4 new teams coming in. Any of these teams scare you overall?
Maybe Cincinnati a little bit, but none of the others are really. None of the others are too concerning, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
last year there were some teams who gave us fights I was not expecting. Well, I guess I underestimated Kansas State. That was my mistake because they always give us a fight.
We don't have to play them this year.
Yeah, I'm so glad. They're always tough for whatever reason. They just don't like us.
Right. We play Cincinnati, our 4th game at Cincinnati. I think we have UCF at home in our 6th or 7th game. Mm-hmm. And then we got BYU in our 2nd to the last game in the kind of the cold weather months. So we've got a pretty good schedule. It kind of lines up for us to do a little better. I think we can go through the games here in a few minutes. But I first wanted to turn our attention to the SEC.
Ooh.
That 2024 SEC schedule is already out. Let me go through these games for you, Britt.
God.
We play Alabama at home. You ever heard of them?
Yeah, I think I have. Nick Saban.
One of your favorite coaches out there.
Oh, my God.
Did you know we're actually 3-2-1 against them? We've won 3, lost 2, and had a tie in our history. So we actually have a winning record against Alabama.
Yeah, we actually beat Saban.
Yeah.
About almost a decade ago now. That's crazy. I remember that game. And
they had a guy by the name of Derrick Henry on the team.
Ooh, yeah, one of my favorite NFL players.
Yeah.
I always forget he was from Alabama.
Now, to hear the Alabama fans talk about it, they weren't really interested in that game because they weren't in the national championship.
Of course.
So that's why we beat them.
Of course.
And we had Trevor Knight, which that was the year. He had such a big game there in the Sugar Bowl, I believe it was.
Yeah, he's pretty good. And then
the very next year, Baker beat him out, and then he was transferred.
Yeah. So. I kind of feel bad for. He wasn't a bad quarterback, but it was one of those. I remember we played TCU and so close, but Trevor just couldn't make big plays.
Yeah, Baker's Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have Tennessee coming to town.
We're playing against Heupel.
Josh Heupel's returning. He's turning to the place that has made him famous, Oklahoma.
That should be a fun one.
He was in a college in South Dakota, I believe. Something Snow.
He went to UCF
Snow
as well?
College. Yeah, he was the coach at UCF, but I'm talking about in his college ranks.
Oh.
He was in a junior college, I believe. I think Snow College. I can't remember the name of it, but in South Dakota, and our boy Mike Leach went and plucked him out of South Dakota.
Oh.
And he became our quarterback, and the rest is history.
I don't know if we mentioned this last year, but yeah, Mike Leach sadly passed away.
Very sad. Very sad.
He was a character.
Oh, big character.
He'll be missed.
He loved Pirates.
He is dearly missed by the college football community.
Back to the SEC.
But back to the SEC.
We were actually 3-1 against Tennessee all time.
Oh yeah, and especially that big game we had a few years ago where they were just spanking our ass, and then it came back.
That was Baker's breakout game.
Baker came back. Baker and the crew.
You gave up and went bowling.
Yeah, I went bowling, and then we saw it. And it was. And then I saw it because I'm like, oh, they're coming back, and then they won. It was a great moment.
Yeah, and then we're playing South Carolina. Now, you'd say South Carolina, who cares? But that's Coach Beamer, who was the coach at OU, went out there and he drug Rattler with him.
Yeah, and Stogner too, I think.
Yeah, and Stogner. So I think they'll.
And then Stogner's back with us now. Let's go back to OU.
But
for some reason.
And then Rattler will be gone. But anyway,
is he in the NFL now?
No, I think he's playing this year, but we're talking about 2024 season here, so he'll be gone by then. And then we play our old rival Texas, so that's
of course, that's always going to be.
Railroad. So that's our home games in 2024, and then our road games, Auburn Tigers.
Pretty good team usually, but they do have their occasional great years, but I'm not as worried, let's say, like I am with like an Alabama or Georgia. But
Auburn can sneak up. They had Cam Newton.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
And I believe Bo Jackson played for them as well.
Oh yeah, did he?
Yeah,
I think he did.
He did. Yeah, and then LSU.
Yeah, they're always sneaking up on you.
We're 1-2 against them. We were 2-0 against Auburn. 1-2 lifetime against LSU. It's at LSU. Do you know the name of their stadium? The nickname of their stadium?
I forget.
Death Valley.
Death Valley. Oh man.
You got 80,000 LSU. Go Tigers. Fans screaming in your face.
After that, like, they're still recovering from their fluke national championship season from a couple seasons ago.
You think that was a fluke with Joe Burrow?
They weren't doing that great year after that.
Well, that's because Joe Burrow left. But
they're getting better. They're getting.
What did they do to us that year?
Oh God, they annihilated us.
Did they do the?
Yeah.
On our rear ends.
Yeah, it was like 28 to something. I was like, this was over before it began.
I think they beat us 60 to something.
Oh, yeah, that was a painful one.
And they probably could have scored 80 or 100 on us. So, and then we got our old buddy Mizzou going to Mizzou.
Yeah.
67.
An old reunion.
Yeah, 67-24-5 against our old rival in the Big 12. And then we've got Ole Miss, the University of Mississippi.
Hey, don't discount them. They've had some great seasons.
We're actually 0-1 against them.
Oh, really?
And our lone loss was in 1999, Bob Stoops' first season.
Oh, wow.
And we lost in, it was another small bowl, the Liberty Bowl or something like this. So anyway, but how do you feel about that little gauntlet of teams? You think we're going to do okay? I heard it was the toughest schedule in the SEC.
I've heard similar things. I think you told me that. Well, God help us all. Now, I'm not going to have my hopes high for Alabama, but please prove me wrong.
And as we're recording this on Sunday, we just got news that we got a top defensive line
Yes,
recruit.
we did. David Stone. I thought it was Sloan for some reason. Stone.
David Stone. So hopefully that's going to, turn the tide, and we're going to start getting some of these elite players to come to Oklahoma so we can compete with the SEC. And we've got Jackson Arnold.
Yeah.
And we've got Billy Bowman. And then we got the Peyton Bowen guy. That's who I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah? And one of the other quarterbacks?
No, he's the cornerback or safety, and he went to school with Jackson
no, that
Arnold.
was Micah Bowen I was thinking of.
So we've got some good elite recruits coming in. So hopefully Venables and his staff can keep bringing these big recruits in, and we're going to and we still got Schmitty. You ever seen his face?
Oh, yeah.
Does he look friendly?
No.
No. So hopefully those guys can keep dragging in these big time recruits.
Oh man, yeah.
And we'll be able to compete over there in the SEC.
Didn't you say Smitty went to? You say he went to A&M for a while?
He did go to A&M for a while.
What was he doing over there?
Well, he didn't like Lincoln Riley. He thought he was a little light in the shoes.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't like his way of coaching, and so he went on to A&M and did some good things down there. But he's back where he belongs with us, Oklahoma. Him and Venables good friends because Stoops brought Schmitty in. I think that might have been one of his very first coaches that he hired. He went and got Schmitty because he knows Schmitty built is tough. So
yeah.
All right.
No, yeah, it looks like it'll be a couple classics. I hope for the next season.
Yeah, I see.
That's my biggest hope. If we lose, I hope it's a classic where it's where I'm gonna be I'm gonna remember that until I die.
We don't want to get embarrassed, is what you're saying?
No,
yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
We've got some good teams. I think there's some on there we can win. I mean, Alabama. You never know how Alabama's going to be. I'm assuming they're going to be real good. So that's probably one that we wouldn't be favored in. Tennessee, that's probably a toss-up. South Carolina, I would guess that we would be favored at that one. Texas in the Red River rivalry is always up in the air. It's a coin flip. Auburn at Auburn. I don't know. Don't know what to say about that. At LSU at night. Ooh. I don't like our chances on that one. Missouri, I think we can handle Missouri in a year. And then Ole Miss, kind of an old SEC team that's been there. I don't know. I mean, since SEC was born. So, you never know about them, too. I think they've got Lane Kiffin as one of their coaches. You ever heard of that guy? Lane Kiffin?
It sounds familiar.
A little controversial coach. He's been around. But anyway, he's coached some good teams. So, all right, what I thought we would do...
Like Urban Meyer controversy? Or
sort of like that.
Oh.
He's just had some different controversy surrounding him as he's gone to different schools. So, But he's done well there at Ole Miss, and that's where our Jeff Levy came from. Jeff Levy was coaching for him. So
I thought I thought he was from UCF.
Levy?
Yeah.
No, he came from. Well, he did coach at UCF, but when OU hired him, he was coaching at Ole Miss.
Okay.
So anyway, we've got ties there all around.
Yeah.
Now, what I thought we would do is let's just go through the season this year. We're in the Big 12. It's our last year. Let's go through game by game. Let's predict if we're going to win or lose. And then let's just see how close we get. I know that I said we were going to go 12-0 and win the Big 12 championship last year.
Well,
obviously, I was off, and I think you said 10-2 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
You were better than I was, but we were both way off last year.
Yeah.
Now we've had our humble pie.
Yeah.
And we're back to reality, maybe. I'm sort of a homer. But I'll go through each game, and then you tell me, do you think we're going to win the game or lose the game, okay?
Don't make me do score predictions.
I'm not going to do score predictions. We don't know what the team's going to look like this year, but we're not going to do score predictions.
I'm terrible at those.
We're just going to think about the team. We're going to think about OU. We're going to say, is it a win or a loss? How does that feel?
That feels fine.
Okay. All right. Arkansas State. I don't even know what their mascot name is.
I don't think I remember. Or if I knew
the Red Hawks or something. I don't know. But anyway.
I would say we're going to win that one.
We're going to win that one. I'm going to go along with you, Britt, and say we're going to win that game.
Yeah.
And if we don't kill them,
we're going to
if Arnold isn't in the game in the third quarter, I'm going to be upset. I want to see the kid play because we are whipping up on Arkansas State so bad that Venables just says, let's bring in the freshmen. Let's empty the bench and play it all. Okay. Southern Methodist University,
the Mustangs?
known as SMU Mustangs. They're out of Dallas.
Yeah.
They're coming in.
I always get them mixed up with SNU out here. I'm like, what?
So SMU, last year they had our quarterback Tanner Mordecai. You remember that guy?
Yeah.
And Calcaterra transferred over there.
Oh.
And they were pretty decent last year.
Yeah, Mordecai was never bad.
But both of those guys are gone now.
Oh.
Win or lost against SMU?
I would say win, but
I'm gonna go with a win. We're 2-0, heading to in-state rival Tulsa. the Hurricane.
Oh, yeah.
Coached by Kevin Wilson. And I believe the game may be at Tulsa.
Oh, wow.
Does that scare you?
Not really.
We got to win that one?
I would think so.
Okay.
Unless...
We're going to go 3 and...
Unless Tulsa pulls a Boise State on us, God forbid.
Don't bring that up.
Yeah, no.
Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. We know nothing about Cincinnati other than they were in the championship a couple years ago, right? But we don't know what their team looks like this year. And I don't think they had much of a winning record last year. Know very little about. They lost their big-time coach they had that took them to the championship. It's at Cincinnati. You know where Cincinnati, what state Cincinnati's
That's Ohio.
In? Correct.
The Bengals.
We're going to Ohio. Luckily, this is in September, so it'll be nice and warm up there.
Yeah.
Win or loss?
I'll go with win for right now because
I'm with you.
I don't know. I usually don't know which games we might lose.
Okay,
but we'll see.
That's why it's preseason predictions. We don't know. We're going to see how we're just going on what we feel here.
Iowa State.
Okay,
are we going to be home or over there?
I believe we're at home. I'm not sure about that. Iowa State's quarterback, I believe his last name was Decker.
They were kind of having what we were having last year because they lost a couple that they lost Purdy, they lost that running back who was really good, so they were kind of having a slump. And then Iowa State, they're
well. Let me mention this: their quarterback was kicked off the team for gambling, along with I believe a couple of other players. So their starting quarterback that was pretty good is off the team.
Ouch!
Now what do you think? Win or loss?
Probably going to win that one.
I think we're going to win it.
Yeah.
We're 5-0 heading into the Red River rivalry, Britt.
Oh, God.
Against Texas. A Texas team that is coached by Sarkisian?
Yeah, who had an outburst last season.
He's always having outbursts.
Yeah.
And touted as the favorite to win the Big 12. Were we in our white jerseys last year or red jerseys in the OU game against Texas?
Red.
Okay, so we're going to be in our white jerseys, so we're going to be the away team. It's in the Cotton Bowl. You've been there. You've dropped a couple tears there.
Yes.
You've been very sick in the game there.
Oh, God.
Never had a great experience down there. We're not going.
One day, guys. Come on.
We're not going until we know we're going to win that game. And that's always up in the air. So win or loss against a favored Texas team in the Cotton Bowl.
He better win that one.
You going to win?
Well,
it's okay if you want to go win.
Hold on. Let me think about it.
We lost 49-0 last year.
Well, it can't be that bad.
Do we have 49 points? Are we 49 points better this year?
Well, we were having closer games towards the end of the season, so. And plus, we got better players now, so it could be I don't know. It's gonna be a tough one though.
It's up in the air. It's a coin flip.
Up in the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which way you leaning? We're gonna have to go with the win or loss. You can just.
I'll go with win because, I'm more pissed off and wanting revenge. I'm letting my desire for revenge overcloud my good judgment here.
Yeah, and I'm probably doing the same thing here, a little homerish as we are. I'll go with the win.
Yeah.
So we're undefeated right now. We've beaten Texas, so we're probably in the top 10 for sure. We're probably in the top 5 now. And then we've got Central Florida. Now, Dylan Gabriel came from Central Florida. It's his old teammates that he's playing.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I believe they're here in Norman.
Yeah.
Win or loss?
I would say win, because I don't really...
Okay. All right.
I don't really...
No, it's hard to know. We don't know their players. We haven't seen them play, right? So these games are kind of hard to predict. Now, the game you're hanging your hat on from last year, if Kansas was going to beat us, it had to have been last year. We were way down. Their quarterback ran all over us last year, but somehow we won that game.
I'm saying we're winning against Kansas.
We're still winning?
They're they're the Cleveland Browns of college football.
I don't remember the last time we lost to Kansas, but it had to be, I guess, probably in the 90s when John Blake was here. We probably lost to him then, but we never lost to him with Stoops here, or Lincoln Riley, or Venables. So, okay, so we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're 8-0 heading into Bedlam. We lost to OSU last year.
No, we didn't. We won that game.
We beat OSU.
Yeah. You're thinking of when we're thinking of when Lincoln left. That's when we lost to OSU.
We did lose when Lincoln was there. Okay. Now, are we playing? I think we may be playing at OSU.
I think we are.
So maybe it's 2 years in a row at OSU. I'm thinking of. I think you're correct. So, can we win at OSU with all the pressure on us? They're mad because we've left the Big 12. We're 8-0. We're probably in the top 5 for sure, maybe top 3. Looking at like an Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma top 3. Going in probably at night against OSU on the road. Gundy's got his mullet cut off. Very upset that that Bedlam is ending and that OU has walked out on him like a scorned wife after the husband's walked out on him. Can we beat OSU in all of those scenarios?
They had a great opportunity to beat us last year.
Mm-hmm.
They did not.
Right.
So I'm saying we're winning that.
We're winning again. 9-0. Okay. Now, West Virginia last year.
That was bullshit game I've ever seen.
Pitiful. Very
terrible calls, awful plays, awful reads, just a shit show of a game.
Missed a field goal.
Terrible.
Missed a field goal at the end. We could have won it. Our guy missed it. Hope he's better this year. Schmidt. They're going to beat us 2 years in a row? They never beat us before in the Big 12. That was the first time they ever beat us.
I would very much doubt it.
Okay. So we're 10-0. BYU.
Oh, I thought that'd say Baylor for a moment. No. I'm like, well, Baylor probably would say.
Okay, we're not playing K-State this year. We're not playing Baylor this year.
I will say win on BYU because
BYU, they're a little down right now compared to some of their teams that they had with their old coach Bronco something. I can't remember. And his first name was Bronco, but we're going to win. So we're at 11-0, and then our Big 12 rival that went all the way to the championship game. We had our hopes up,
and then completely got smashed by Georgia.
Have they recovered from that?
You know what? I'll put that for our loss of the season because TCU's always given us a fight, no matter what year it is. And there's probably some other games we might lose, and I'll go, well, we were wrong.
All right, Britt, you're at 11-1, and I don't see us losing to TCU, so I'm saying we're 12-0 again.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
All right, so out of all these games we just discussed, which game are you looking the most forward to out of all of those games? Is it the easy choice, OU Texas, or is it
I was gonna say OU Texas, but I'm like, it's too easy.
Is another one that intrigues you?
I am looking forward to going up against new teams like Cincinnati and UCF.
Okay.
And BYU. I'm looking forward to those clashings.
We're going to go ahead and circle those on our calendar. Those are our big weekends. Now, here's another thing that I wanted to discuss with you.
Oh.
This possibly, and for a while I know, would be our last Bedlam meeting. So the Bedlam meeting, the Bedlam series is ending as far as we know it for a while. The demise of the Bedlam.
It's gonna suck.
Bedlam.
It's like if Red River ended.
Yeah.
It sucks.
How do you feel about it? Is that all you have to say?
No,
it sucks,
I mean, I know there hasn't been as many iconic games as OU Texas, but I'm gonna be very sad because OU OSU, that was a great time. Mm-hmm. Usually us winning, but we've had our losses over the years.
Always had some fun games against them. Now there were years before you were born when we just crushed them all the time. But since you've been alive, the OU OSU series has been competitive for sure.
Sure, yeah. Mike Gundy's a pretty good coach.
Yeah, and we have won most of them.
And another colorful character.
We have won most of those games. I think Gundy's record is pretty pitiful, like 4-12 or something crazy like that. But had some really classics.
Oh yeah. Like 2021, even when Lincoln decided to just.
We should have won that one. We should have won that one.
He pulled a Lincoln, and then he left us.
Now, another story that's out there that...
decided to twist the knife on us.
Another story that's out there that they've been talking about is, can Caleb Williams... Is that his name? That traitor?
I think you got it right.
Okay.
I'm more mad at Lincoln Riley than Caleb. I mean, there's a bunch of people leaving. There's a bunch of people. I don't like that transfer portal in general, but I don't take it as personally though, because it's just like a bunch of people have been doing that. Yeah, it's dumb. I don't like it.
He likes to paint his fingernails, right?
Yeah. That doesn't really bother me though.
Okay. Now, can he win the Heisman 2 years in a row? Only one person's ever won the Heisman 2 years in a row.
I would be very shocked if he did. Okay. Yeah. If he did, I'd be like, "Oh my gosh!" Yeah. Now I would. Now I'm not going to pretend that he isn't a great talent because he is.
He's a great talent.
He does have flaws though. For instance, he has that Johnny Manziel problem where he just hangs on to the ball for way too long, and takes a lot of risks that he doesn't really need to do. That he doesn't really need to.
Now he's floating the idea that he might not turn pro after this year. What do you think of that?
Kind of surprised.
Yeah, he's going pro. Don't fool me, Caleb. You already fooled me once. Don't fool me again. You're going pro after this year.
I'd be very surprised if he didn't go pro.
He's going pro. So he's just trying to keep his hype machine going here.
You think he's going Dallas?
I don't know. See, that was what he was saying, that he was going to look to see who had the first pick overall, and he would make his decision whether he wanted to play for that team. And if he didn't want to play for that team, then he would come back to college for another year. How about that for arrogance?
Oh my God!
Huh?
Yeah, man.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's going all in.
I think another guy did that by the name of Eli Manning. I think he pulled a stunt like that. And said he wouldn't play for the Jets.
Well, he did pretty good for himself, though.
Yeah, he did pretty good for himself. Have you seen that where he dresses himself up and tries out for the Penn State as a walk-on? Have you seen that video?
I have. Yes,
it's hilarious.
Those commercials.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, he was at Ole Miss, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was at Ole Miss. He was dominant there.
Peyton
was at Tennessee.
Yeah.
And then
there's a legend over there.
Oh yeah. And I guess their nephew went somewhere. Did you hear where he went?
I've heard rumors he went to Texas.
Yeah, your rumors are confirmed.
Oh, we're gonna be playing a Manning.
Play him. They had another famous quarterback, father-son quarterback over there at Texas that didn't fare too well. Remember a guy named Chrissy Sims?
Oh, yeah, Chris Sims. Yeah. I have vague memories of his career.
Yeah, you were young when he was there. So that was back when we were 63-14 in Texas. So
laying it on him. Yeah,
they finally recovered last year and got us 49-0. So... All right, well, that's kind of a wrap. I guess you're saying 11-1. I'm going to go, 12-0. I wouldn't be surprised if we dropped a couple that we're not supposed to drop. I just hope that defense is better this year. I don't want to get embarrassed anymore.
I just hope that we play. I mean, I really think that OU Texas last year would have gone a lot better if. I don't know if we would have won. We probably would have still lost.
Yeah.
But it would not have been 49-0.
With Gabriel. With Gabriel hurt.
Yeah. We just seemed completely discombobulated out there. Yeah. We looked like the worst team of all time.
Yeah.
And in the next couple weeks we were better.
Right.
So clearly
Gabriel came back.
Well, yeah.
But who was that quarterback? I put him out of my memory. Daniel
Bevel.
Yeah,
oh,
Bevel.
Man, poor guy.
I've heard he's better. I don't want to see him though. He doesn't need to prove that to me.
I don't really want to see that either. In all honesty.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna have an NFL conversation with some friends of mine on YouTube. So that's gonna be fun.
All right.
But do you have any? How have you been liking the preseason? I've seen some games.
Yeah.
They were pretty awful.
Yeah, I haven't paid much attention to preseason as much as I typically do pay attention to them. It just hasn't worked out. that I've been able to see many of them. As a matter of fact, all the Dallas games have been blacked out because DirecTV can't make a deal with NBC, so we can't watch the games on NBC. Since we live in Oklahoma, those are coming on NBC. But so I haven't really paid much attention yet. I'm ready for the regular season. Baker's taking over for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
How'd you like to fill those shoes?
I wouldn't. I mean, he's gonna be. He's got a good offense on his side. I mean, he's got Mike Evans, one of the best wide receivers, who also beat us. The jerk. But anyway, him and Johnny Football. They were a dynamic duo back in the day.
They definitely were. They embarrassed us that day in the Cotton Bowl, I believe. So. Yeah, filling the shoes of Tom Brady, but you know what? Baker's always had that chip on his shoulder. He's probably going to thrive in that. That'd be my guess.
Hope so.
He's not going to be intimidated by that.
It's better than the Browns or the Panthers. That's all I'll say, man.
And I think Tom Brady's going to be commentating on football games.
Hey, it seems. Hey, I mean, I always thought he was going to do that. I'm like, when's this guy going to retire?
And Romo has gone to. I like Romo.
I know you like. A lot of people like Romo.
Because he really can predict kind of what the play is going to be. He tells
I do enjoy him as a commentator.
Yeah,
he was on and off as a quarterback in the years I saw him,
Yeah.
but as a commentator, he's very good.
He was above average quarterback, not a world beater, but
he had some great games though. Like he went up against Peyton when he was at the Broncos. They lost that game, but it was a great game though.
Yeah, he was a good quarterback, but I like him as a commentator. But it'll be very interesting to see how Brady does in that role. See if he has the same insight that Romo has. I'm looking forward to that. So.
Yeah, I mean, hell, if I were Brady, I would have just taken all my rings and stuff. I would have just gone home.
Now, let me ask you this. Is there a team that you're rooting for this year in the NFL? Do you have a favorite team this year?
Well, aside from the Cowboys, Cowboys, it's like a gangrenous wound that hasn't been cut off yet. They need to get rid of that gangrene, and then it'll be over. And we'll be in the promised land.
They got rid of their offensive coordinator, that young kid from Boise State.
The offense wasn't that bad.
Yeah. And then their head coach is going to be calling the plays, so we'll see how that goes. So the Cowboys are, your number one team. Anybody else tickle your fancy?
Say I don't know, the Chiefs maybe.
Okay, so you're going to stick with the local teams.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, what's another team that's doing good?
The Bills have been kind of close.
I was about to say I don't want to say Eagles. That's like OU Texas.
Who won the Super Bowl last year?
That was Chiefs.
That's right, Chiefs over the Eagles, wasn't it?
That was a great game though.
Yeah.
Till the final couple minutes.
Yeah. Big game did. He's lived up to his billing.
I was kind of like, oh yeah, he'll burn out in the NFL. No, he's. I'm like, all right, hey, I'm glad you were associated with us.
Yeah,
we were always making fun of Jalen Hurts.
Well, Kyler Murray kind of had a couple good seasons, and then everybody kind of figured him out, and then so I'm wondering if the same thing doesn't happen to Jalen. But Jalen works hard. He really does study the film and practice, and he just got better. He got better. I didn't know he was going to get better, so he was much better.
Yeah, though he's still running around with the ball hanging out.
Any prediction on who's going to win the Super Bowl this year? Just off the cuff?
Oh yeah, I should also mention the Bengals.
Oh yeah, the Bengals.
I'm sure my buddy Joe will appreciate that.
They've got Joe Mixon. I think I heard maybe that Samaje got traded, but I'm not sure about that. I'll have to look that one up. Yeah. But I like that OU combo at the Bengals too.
I like Joe Burrow, even though he smashed us a few years ago. But he seems like a good dude. And Bengals, where did they come from? They were like trash for a long time, and then last couple of years they've stepped up. Man,
Their head coach came out of Norman.
Oh, did he?
Zach. I can't remember his last name off the top of my head, but. He did come out of Norman, so he's kind of an Oklahoma guy. So.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
But no. I don't think Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl. I think, you know what? Again, this one's for you, Dan. I think the Eagles might have it this year. They got the hunger, you know. They got the great players. Jalen, man, he's wanting that ring.
Yeah.
He wants it.
That would solidify his career. That would solidify his overall career.
So, like, just the one I'm throwing out who could probably win the Super Bowl, I'm going to say Eagles right now.
Okay, I got it circled.
Even though it hurts me to say as a Cowboys fan. It's like saying the Giants are going to win the Super Bowl. Or the Redskins, or not Redskins anymore, the Commanders. Who are probably going to suck.
Yeah.
They got rid of Dan Snyder, though, so that's an upswing.
Yeah. I think they've got a new rookie quarterback as well. See, I haven't been watching any of these preseason games, so I don't know much about the NFL season this year. But it'll be fun to watch, I know that.
I'm going to go for Eagles.
What about that new TV setup we have in the living room?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's going to be watching football games.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Can't wait. I can't wait for that. So, all right, any final thoughts about are you ready? You fired up? You
Nervous,
excited.
You
going to get up and watch some game day with me this year? You going to sleep in?
Yeah, we'll see. That's all I'll say.
I love it because you're honest. That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
See.
But are you fired up for the season?
Oh, yeah, always.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey, Boomer!
Sooner! Anyway.
See you next week after we kick the crap out of Arkansas State.
We better.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been yet another week of Days of Us Sooners. Yeah, you can find us, well, you don't have any social media. No. Well, we'll be back next week, though, for talking about the first game.
Yeah.
So,
we'll see you next week, fans.
Indeed.
Thanks for your support.